It'll give you a little notification that that's happening. And I'm gonna turn it over to you, Laura.
Okie doke. Well, I'm glad everybody's on here this morning for
Give you a little notification that that's happening. Sorry, hold on, it always does this. And goodbye. Okay, now you can go.
okay. All right, cool. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Everybody's good. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make it quick, but there are some tedious parts that I really want to dig into. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So, like Anna was saying the other day, speed wins the deals. Are you keeping up like this little girl who got the deal over 5 other agents? All right, so boards helps us do that. Of course, you all know me. I'm Laura. I've been licensed here in North Carolina since 22. I love using boards. That's my family, and I'm excited to do this workshop with you. And then, okay, here's an agent that definitely does not have her systems and processes in order.
I mean, what other dealer do they could do 6 open houses in one day? Do it, name it. What street is it, Kevin? Is it unincorporated? I've been driving in circles for 4 minutes. I wanted to show up early. Why does no one tell me anything? Okay, I got mine. Oh, this looks great. I want to stage it before the holidays and sell before the end of the year. Get a nutcracker standing here. I get a nutcracker in here, a couple nutcrackers in there. All right? I know how to crack nuts. You haven't set up my out of office phone message? Damn it! I will be there at 4 o'clock. Mom's not going to come. Mom's coming? You can't go wrong with underwear and socks. Who cares? Just put the stapler right in the wall. Hi, you've reached Suzanne. I'm out of the office, but let's be real, I'm never out of the office because I'm always working. Let's go. Hi, Suzanne. How are you? Yes, George and Tammy. Can you get the stapler over here and do this? I'll be there in 20 minutes. Can you staple this freaking light up here, please?
Okay, so she's got some chaos going on. And we don't want to be that agent, right? So when you're too busy to be organized, things fall through the cracks. If you're searching for scripts and templates or marketing content, you're wasting time and losing opportunities. So from chaos to control. So I like to use boards to stay organized so I can respond to clients quickly or to other agents quickly. And it really helps keep me professional. So the bonus is that all your responses, scripts, templates, and marketing content are live in one spot. So it's accessible anytime and anywhere. So you'll save time and stay organized. So these are some key benefits. I'll read over them really fast. You can respond faster. Quick replies to inquiries can keep you from getting distracted and make the difference in securing a client. So you stay organized, so there's no more searching through your emails or notes or files to find your scripts and templates and media. It'll all be in one place. So you'll have access to everything from your phone's keyboard. So you'll be able to easily pull up the right response without switching apps or copying and pasting, which I feel like gets distracting, especially if you go into Facebook like this guy did. You work smarter, not harder, so you can streamline your communication and follow up so you can focus on building relationships and not rewriting messages over and over again. So, and then a consistency across our team or your team, it ensures that everybody has access to the same information, which makes collaboration seamless. So in today's class, we're going to talk about creating your first board, sending content to clients instantly, keeping your boards organized, and easy lead capture. The stuff about organizing and keeping your team organized, I'll do that one in another class. So if you don't have the app, you can scan this QR code and download it and go ahead and install it. If you're on your phone, you can actually screenshot that QR code and then go to the picture and like press and hold the QR code, and it should pop up to the place where the App Store where you can download. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds or maybe like 30 seconds for people to like download that if they haven't already. Let me see in the chat if anybody's saying something to me. Why is it flipping over like that? Let's see. Oh, Pearl. Okay. I want to be able to flip into the chat without it going to the different screen. All right.
Laura, I'm here. I'll try to monitor the chat for you too.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So everybody probably has questions about how much does boards cost? That's like the most important thing. So when you sign up, you get a 15-day free trial. And then after that, you do have to pay. So after the 15-day free trial, you'll need to purchase a plan. I've tried to get us a discount code. They're not offering anything like that to me. I don't know if somebody else out there has one, but they say they don't have anything like that. If you don't upgrade, all your content and boards will remain on your boards list, but with limited functionality. And boards will be kept for you indefinitely, and you can activate them anytime once you do upgrade to the full plan. So you can do it yearly, and you get a little bit of a discount, makes it $8 per month. Or you can just do it monthly, $9.99 a month. It is a little bit expensive, but I think it's worth it. I love this app. And I really want to use it more than I do. I'm just kind of getting started with it, but it's great. So when you sign up, here's a little video. It's easy. It takes about 20 seconds to sign up. So it shows you that you tap continue right there. And then, it's like you signing up for anything. Enter your email, enter your phone number, it'll send you a code. You'll try it for free for 15 days. You'll complete your setup, quick and easy. All right. So this is the most important part of getting started. It's installing the board's keyboard. So you're going to open your app on your phone, and we're going to tap to install the keyboard. It should show up. I'm going to mute that music. All right, so it says install keyboard. You're going to tap that. Then it should pop up and say open settings. So you'll do that. And then it says keyboards. You're going to click that. And then you're going to click allow full access. And then click allow again. And this is the best feature. It's the most important feature. This is what keeps you quick, so you don't have to go from other apps and other places to find your content. It's all in your keyboard. So it's pretty cool. So we'll work with that in a little bit. So now, and if anybody needs me to slow down, just say it in the chat. Or if you need me to speed up, let me know, and then Anna will let me know. Okay, so we're going to talk about setting up and organizing your boards. So the first step we're going to do, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is create a board for your most used content. So what I want you to do is think about what you are using the most. Like, what do you feel like you are constantly repeating over and over again when you're in your messaging? Buyer and seller scripts maybe, or listing presentations, or quick reply texts, or social media content like hashtags, headshots, and logos. What are you using the most? For me, it was these quick reply texts. I feel like I need that a lot. Like if I'm out and about driving, if I can quickly, once I get to where I'm going, I can send a quick reply like, hey, you wanted a cash offer, and it just kind of gets the ball rolling when I can't really go into a long, deep conversation. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new board. So what you want to do is go into that boards app on your phone, and then scroll to the bottom and tap the little plus icon that says create a board. And this one, you call it whatever you want, but something, an example would be like quick reply texts. So then you're going to add content to your board. And the way you do that is you're going to click that little plus button on your new board down there at the bottom. And then click text. And then click add a title. And I did cash offer for an example. I just typed cash offer in there. So add text to your new board. This is you're going to come up, whatever this actually right here is Anna's. So this is what she sends out for her quick cash offer text. So you're going to open that little edit pin and you're going to copy and paste or type your text into the board. And if you don't have time to type it all right now or to think of it all right now, that's fine. Just, type something like placeholder or come back here and type your cash offer information. Give yourself a note right there so you come back and put it all in. Then you'll click the little, I think that's the less than sign to save. Or is that greater than? I can't remember. Okay. So then you want to keep these things organized, which at first you're going to feel unorganized because you're going to have them all over the place. And once you get the hang of it, you'll kind of realize what kind of folders you want, where you want all this information to go to make it easy for you to access, because everybody's is going to be different. It's just the way you work through your boards. But to keep everything tidy, you want to create folders. So you go under where you are in that board, and you can just click right there at the plus sign in the blue dot. This is not the only way to create folders, but if you're in it right now, you can do it this way. So tap the plus sign and then select folder, and then tap done to save your folder. Super easy. And then to move content. So this is probably going to take you some trial and error when you want to relocate your content, but to move content into a folder, you would open your board and tap the check mark. And then choose the content that you want to move. And this can be anything. You can move anything, folders, images, videos, other files, whatever. You just check it. And then you're going to select the destination. So you can create a new folder by tapping create folder. You can see it says create folder right there down at the bottom on the second iPhone picture. You can choose an existing folder to move your content to. But once you've chosen it, you tap move here. So there's also an option to copy your content. So when you relocate content within the same board, you're going to use move. And when you want to use it to transfer between boards, you use copy and paste. And that'll become obvious when you're doing it because it won't let you move between boards. So you'll have to go out and then select the copy option. All right, so you can start with folders if you'd like. If you don't want to create your folder within a board, you can just create your folder outside of a board. And it's kind of like starting a whole new board. You can also, you can create them first and then add content inside them. It's completely up to you, whatever makes most sense to you. So this is the best part. You can quickly send your board via text or email using the boards key. And if you see in my little iPhone picture right here, it looks like Follow Up Boss, right? I don't know if y'all can tell, but this is inside FUB, which, we're supposed to be using. And, all of our contacts are in there. So I'm going to use this board's keyboard in Follow Up Boss. So here it says how to use the board's keyboard. With boards, you can have all your content in one place and can use it in any messaging app, So not just Follow Up Boss. You can use it in texting, Facebook Messenger, email, WhatsApp, any app that you use, your keyboard's going to pop up. All right. So you can see in this picture, I'm in Follow Up Boss, and I've clicked the thing where that says I want to do like some form of communication. And so I'm going to click on the send a text right there and Follow Up Boss. I'm going to click that. And then, so how to use the board's keyboard. To open the board's keyboard on your phone. So this is what okay. So this part can get tricky. So if you don't have the board's keyboard, pay good attention. So you're going to open whatever app you want to use. Say it's your text, like just open up your text app. And then, or Follow Up Boss, like I have here. And then at the bottom, when you start typing in your text, it should show up a little globe down at the bottom where the little finger's pointing. So you'll tap the globe icon until you see boards. which looks like that. I'll say boards. All right. That's where you'll see the boards keyboard pop up, and it'll bring up all of your boards. So you'll be able to click any of them. So I clicked my cash offer that I just made, and it immediately puts it into the text. So you don't have to type it. You just doop, doop, and there it is. And I'm sending it to Nancy. So, yeah, and then you click send, and there it goes. You know, and it's going to be customized to you. You can, you know, put your name and firm and all that in there. Then if you want to switch back out of the app, the boards app, you just tap the ABC down here at the bottom, and you'll switch back to your regular keyboard. Okay. Once you've gotten all of that set up, this is the coolest feature of all, I think, is the lead capture element that you can use. And this you'll have to pay close attention to. This is the part you really want to, because it's tricky. But so I've created these open house lead capture forms, which are super cool. All right. Okay. The first thing, the way you capture leads in boards is with something called web pages. And if you're looking in your boards app, they are at the very top. It'll say web pages or pages. And they let you combine multiple content pieces like text, images, videos, PDFs, YouTube, Vimeo videos, your own videos, forms, or button links. Like you could even sell things and have like a cash out option, like a point of sale within it. Although we don't do anything really like that, but you could. It's pretty awesome. And it's all in one web page that anybody can access online. It'll have a web address and everything. To create a web page with the content you already have available in your boards. I'm sorry, you can create one with the content you already have available in your boards, or you can add new content to your page the same way you add it to your boards. The web page is similar, it's just better. It's got a lot, you can do a whole lot more with it than just a regular board. So you use web pages to create anything like an open house sign-in, an off-market feedback form, an RSVP, trainings or giveaways. I also created one for like a Starbucks. Like I'll just send a quick Starbucks, like have a drink on me to somebody. Maybe it's their birthday. So that's a cool one. And you can find out who actually used it with your lead capture. So how to create a web page. So here we are from within a board. So go into your boards and go into that board you just created and tap the plus icon inside your board. Then you'll select down there at the bottom, web page. Or, you know, alternatively, if you're on the home page of your boards at the very top, it'll say you can select web page from there and make a new one. It's all pretty easy. So you'll want to name your page. So I'm calling mine Open House Sign In. And you do that by tapping on the upper left side of the screen. And you just type it in there. And then you'll tap it when you're done. Tap done when you're done. And your web page is now available on your board. So you can create pages inside any of your boards or in your web pages section, providing you with flexibility to organize your content as you see fit. Okay. If I go too fast in this, just pipe in, let me know, and I'll slow down. Because this part, you got to pay really good attention to get these web pages and your lead capture. So how to create it continued. So from the home screen, tap Create Page in the Home tab within the Web Pages section. I think this is from the home screen, like I said a minute ago, but I'll go through it. Name the page by tapping on the upper left side of the screen and then tap Done, just like you did in the previous screen. All right. So your page is now available, and when you share your page with someone, they get a link that they can open in any browser, just like a website. So I use a QR code for my open houses for people to access the sign in. So you know how to create a QR code. You just go into Canva and put the web address that is created for your web page. And if you don't know how to do that, let me know and I'll walk you through it in another, on your own. Just let me know. So forms are where the lead capture happens, and you create forms in the web page. So using forms helps you connect with leads, customers, and your team. And each form has two parts. There's a form editor and there's form settings. So in the editor, you're going to choose your fields to fit your needs, like name, phone number, email, message. And those are the ones I used for the open house because I really want to capture these people's names, phone numbers, and emails. And there's the option that they can leave me a message. So you can add extra fields or remove ones that you don't need. You got to make certain fields required or optional. Wait a minute, make certain fields required or optional. Yes. So if you want to make these fields required, like email address and phone number, you can do that in here. And you can edit each field. So customize. So in form settings, you're customizing the text that'll be on the submit button. So, if you don't want it to say submit, you could say click here or something like that. You can customize that there. And also there's a thank you message that'll pop up once they've submitted the form. You can also customize that to say whatever you want, like thank you very much, or enjoy your coffee, or anything you can think of. Then you'll set the email address where the responses will be sent. So I just put my email address in there because I want those responses to come to me. And either the one linked in your board's account or another one you specify. It populated mine, so because that's the one I use to create my account. So I just kept that one in there. I use that one, and my responses are sent directly to my email, or the responses from open house attendees are sent directly to my emails. All right, here's how you create a form. So you're going to go into the page and tap add a section add a selection, and then select form. See this whole list? You got add section, and then you got a whole list of things you can add to your web page, which is super cool. You guys saw the one Anna did the other day, her Valentine's board that she sent out to her people, and she had a video in it. So cute. You can do that. You can add all kinds of text, images, a YouTube video, a button. That's where you have like submit. Profile, I'm going to show you how to use that because you're going to need it for your form. You've got your form, and then you've got this checkout option that I was telling you about that you probably won't use, but if you wanted to sell things, you could. So you're going to click on form right there, and then you're going to give it a name. So here they've got join my VIP list. I'm going to call mine open house sign in. You can replace the default labels by rewriting the text inside each field. So you could change any of this information. You could change name to anything. Phone number, just, click in there and change it. And you can add a field here if you want. You use the little trash button to get rid of the ones you don't want. You use the check mark to select the ones that are required. So to designate, we went over that just now. That's designating fields that are mandatory and deleting fields. And then you're going to click next. This is the part that's tricky, I think, because you don't really, the word next is up there at the top right, and it's hard to see. So this is where you go, this is how you go to the next step. Click next. And this is in your settings of that board or of that form, all right? So to edit the form settings here, this is where you can change this word submit to like click here or anything you can think of. And here's where you're going to make sure your email is correct or change it. And then here's where you're going to connect to Google Sheets. This is super important. You're going to want to test this to make sure it's working, but you click connect to Google Sheets. And then don't worry about that. Don't worry about connecting your Google Sheets or anything. It'll do it for you more than likely. And if it doesn't, I can help you troubleshoot that at a later time. And then down here, you're going to create your thank you message that pops up after they've submitted their form. All right. So then you're going to click done. And then collecting. Okay. So here's how the Google Sheets thing works. So it's going to integrate with Google Sheets. So you have to have a Google account. And I feel like most of you do. So you've already clicked the connect Google Sheets at the last point. So if you didn't, go ahead and click Google Sheets. And then if it prompts you to log into your Google account, go ahead and do that. It did not prompt me, it just connected. And then from here, it's gonna do the Google Sheets integration for you. It will automatically enter the URL of the Google Sheet where you want to collect responses. And so it's just going to enter, it'll look like this for the linked sheet. Now, if it didn't do it on the first time, that's normal because you're going to have to like go out of the board or of the form and then come back in to that. And that's kind of the tricky part. So if anybody needs help with this part, let me know.
Laura, Colleen asked a question. The email that you use to log in, does it need to be a Gmail, like facing email in order to get these Google Sheets created? Do you know?
I don't think that the email has to be, but you just do have to have Google Sheets. You need to have some sort of like Google Docs or a Google Drive. I think. I'm not 100% certain, but I can find that out for you. Sorry.
No, that's great.
Okay.
Probably maybe if you have an email, I don't know if your business email is Google related or not, but most of the time they are just backed by Google. But if you know yours is not, then maybe you could test it and let us know. I don't know.
Okay. Right. And when you do test it, if it does not come into your email, or when you go back into your form settings, like the way that I showed you this funky part where it's like next right here, that's how you get to your form settings, which was confusing to me. If you go out and then come back in and it doesn't give you this URL, then it may not be connected. But if it is connected, then you click this little square with the arrow in it and it will open up your little Google Sheet. And if you test it and nothing comes through, it's because it's not done correctly. And I've got a troubleshooting. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about this before we test this. Okay. So here's how it's collected in the Google Sheet. Each response submitted through your form is instantly recorded in the Google Sheet, and it updates in real time. So you'll find the spreadsheet from your form settings. So click the direct link that will be there once you create, update, and save your form. So that's like you save it by clicking done, you go back out of it and then come back in to your settings. Oh, it does say, you know what? I did know. Important, a Gmail account is mandatory. Says it right there. I forgot. Okay. So yes, you do need to use a Gmail account with boards to get your lead capture. Okay. There was a little bit. Oh, here, this is important information when you're doing it and you're testing it, okay? This QR code is testing my open house form. So if you scan that, it'll show you what the form will look like to your open house attendees. So you can scan that QR code and then you go in and you start filling out your stuff, like you're an open house attendee. And it's important to remember that forms can't be submitted inside the app or in the desktop editor. You need to share the page link and open it in a browser. So don't try to test it from within the board's app because that won't work. Also with phone numbers, there's no dashes in them. And also you're gonna have to select the country code by scrolling all the way down and finding United States because it starts in the A's. So yeah, so if people want to test this just to see what mine looks like, go ahead and it'll come through to me and I'll know that you did it and it worked. But we're testing, that's testing mine, but that's how you could also test yours. You don't have to do it from a QR code. You would just copy your the link. And the way to get the link is just like text it to yourself or, at the very bottom, it'll say share and you can share it to yourself. But just make sure you're not doing it from within your board to test it. And eventually, like within a few minutes, you'll get an email that shows it worked. Or you can go into that form settings that I showed you that's tricky and click the URL, this right here. Click that little square and arrow and it'll pop up the Google Sheet. And if there are responses in there, then it worked and you're good to go and you know what you're doing. If it's not working and you keep trying over and over again, because I had that problem, it's because I was doing it from within the app. I was testing it from within the app. And if you need my help troubleshooting that, let me know. I'll be glad to walk you through it. Okay. I think we did this page. Yep. Okay. So this is where you're going to customize your form because if you just create a form, it's only the response stuff that's in it, like my picture and the title that says open house sign in and the address, that's not going to be part of your form. So if you want it to be custom and have a picture and look pretty and make sense to people when they're going in, you want to customize that. So, so to add a picture or graphic to the top of your form, you're going to go back to the web page form you just created and click on it. And it's blank. There's nothing up there. So you're going to click the edit pen to open it. And then you're going to select the option for profile. Let me go back a little bit. Nope, too far. All right. Not on there. Okay. Profile. It's the one, well, in this picture, it's the one right above form. You're going to click that. And that's how that's going to be the place where you are able to customize. So you can add your image. So you'll click on the little camera, it'll open up, let you put a picture in there. You can, this picture was of Bass Lake was already in another board. So I was able to just select that picture and put it in. If you don't have any pictures yet in your boards, then you can select it to go into your desktop to find pictures that you have in there. Or from your phone, in your phone's pictures, photos. And then just select it and it'll show up there. And you may have to troubleshoot to make sure it looks right, move some things around, but it's fun to do that. So then then also there's the option you see here. This is where I'm editing it. You can, in your headline, it's gonna be the larger writing right there, which you cannot edit the font size or font shape or color, but you can edit what's in there. So I entered my headline, which was open house sign in. And then under the description, which is optional, I put the address. And then you can add anything else here. So for each open house, I do a different picture and street address, but you can make your open house sign in generic if you want, so that you don't have to change them for each one. It's completely up to you, whatever works for you. And then I created a QR code, like I showed you earlier, with this. So then click done, and it'll save, and it'll look like that. And then, well, actually, it won't look like that. The picture, your profile will be below your form. So all you have to do to get the picture and the profile information on top of your form is to drag it. So you'll just click on it and drag it up. And it should be above there. And if you have trouble with that, let me know. And if you're on your desktop, you click and drag the same way, but just not with your finger. So that is my favorite part of boards so far. I love that. I love being able to share my Starbucks code with people instead of putting it out on like social media where anybody and everybody takes your code and buys cups on it. This way you give it to one person at a time, like on their birthday, or to thank somebody for referring you or something like that. And you actually know who they are when they do it, and you capture their information if you're doing it through Facebook Messenger or something like that. And you can also disable the link at any time. If somebody's abusing it, then you just cut it off. So analytics, this is a little bit of an extra so that you know how many people are accessing your boards. So board owners and editors can see their analytics that are related to a specific board. You can see user activity and content engagement. It shows how many members were active over a certain period of time. And an active member is somebody who you've shared boards with. It shows content engagement, the number of times they've actually looked at a piece of content that was sent to them or viewed, or it was viewed from the app. So you see here, this is not mine. Mine are, mine's in the low, like below 10 kind of range right now. But yeah, it shows how many members were actively using. And this is more geared towards teams, this analytics stuff. But you can also look at it individually for yourself, when you're sharing things, like how many people are actually looking in these. Like I've shared my newsletter through boards to my neighborhood farm. And then I can go back and look at the analytics and see how many people actually opened it up and looked at it. It's got charts and graphs. You can see how many active members and content engagement. You can also see that what's top, like which boards are getting the most interaction, and use that to spend your time in the ones that are getting the most action. The way you see your analytics is that you just go into boards. This is from the desktop, but it really looks the same on your iPhone as well. You'll see this analytics option when you're in your web page. The analytics, I don't think analytics is available when you're using just basic boards, but you have to be using the web pages, I think. Yeah, so it'll be right there. Huh?
You're right. You have to go to the website.
Okay. So, yep, you go right there, and then you'll be able to tailor it to like all time, last month, this month, last week, this week, yesterday, and today, and see what's been going on. So the part 2 that I have coming will be about team collaboration. I don't have that stuff right now. I mean, I have some of it, but it's tedious. Not really, but it is a little. So thanks everybody. And I can take questions if anybody has any. I hope I didn't go through all that too fast.
So just for my clarification, because I've been taking care of babies while you've been talking to, at the open house, you put a QR code out for them to scan, and it takes them to this boards form.
That's correct.
Okay.
Right when they walk in the door, I greet them. And then, we have a bit of small talk. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, if you don't mind, just go ahead and sign in to the open house, and I'll say something like, we do that for safety purposes. The homeowners just like to know who's been in their house, or something. I try to make it light. And I've never had any kickback about anybody being like, no, I don't want to do that. But I make a cute little sign. So I print it out and I say, like, I should have had it so you could see it, but I print out a little sign and have it in a frame, and it says open house sign in on it. And then it says sign QR code, and the QR code's printed on there.
Laura, do you on the open house sign in. You know, you have the option in boards that when someone provides their information, it delivers something to them. Um, I'm just thinking out loud because I always am good at capturing information at open houses because I provide some kind of item of value in exchange for sign in. You could 100%, I think, use that to deliver your MOGs, your residential property disclosures, your feature sheet. I mean, there's a way to make it so that it'll literally just once they sign in, redirect instead of saying thank you, you can redirect them to the board that you've probably
Yeah,
built for that listing.
absolutely. And that option, let's see. Let me get to that page. Oh, okay. So here where it says show custom message, thank you so much. The after submission part, we're in settings. Thank you so much. Or click here, redirect to a different page. You're going to make another board with, with all, that's where you've got your board with all the information about your listing or the listing that you're showing. And if it's a team listing, chances are Anna's already made it and you can just have her share it with you or Megan or somebody's already made it, but they're a lot of fun and easy to make. So I even make them, for when I did Kathleen's open house this weekend, I made one. It's easy, quick. It doesn't have to be too involved, just depends on how much you want to do, but this is where you're going to direct them. You're just going to put the link to that right there to direct to a different page, and it will automatically send that information to your lead that comes into the
Yeah,
open.
Jason just asked, where are 2 or 3 places that I'm using it? So that same concept that Laura just showed, I'm using on like our new construction developments, where you have people that are driving by, there's no product there, we want them to interact. You could do the same thing with a resale listing, but pretty much we're able to send a link out and say, hey, do you have interest on the development project at Hillside and Main Street? And we can send over our capture board. And once they give us their information, then we're able to send them what they actually are looking for, right? Which is all of the details, the plans, the lots, all of the stuff. And so it helps us, particularly when we have we're trying to build pipelines. I think it helps us because we can exchange information. I used to use Flowdesk forms, Jason, before I found this. This was just so much easier because it's just built into my phone. So I use it for lead capture a lot. I build a lot of one-off websites, landing pages. That's always been our game. We have them for recruiting. We have like whyjoinwithus.com. My personal recruiting site. There's tons of these little pages and I was having to manage them over in Durable, and I had some on a Wix platform. And so to be able to just have it editable on my phone, they don't look quite as sleek as like a custom made site, but when you're texting it over, I think it does also it presents more like a little in-app work lookbook versus a full website. And so I think I'm just able to execute a lot faster. And then my business card is there now. I just was able to use a template from boards to just create my business card, and that also captures information. I store all of my Calendly links in here, so I'm not having to leave my app to go into Calendly to copy my listing my listing appointment calendar, my coaching calendar. All of that is literally just one click away, and it allows me to execute so much faster, so much faster. I wish I'd have found it before because we went from landing pages to Flowdesk to now this, and this is significantly cheaper than Flowdesk and way more cell phone friendly. I can edit on my phone, whereas with Flowdesk, I'd have to usually log on to my laptop, always log on to my laptop.
Right. It is so easy to edit within this app. You don't even always have to go into your laptop. It can be easier once you're in your laptop, but yeah, Flowdesk was so expensive and not nearly as user-friendly as this.
So Jason, another place too, it's communication with other people. So Allison likes Trello a lot. I've always had a hard time with Trello. I don't know, just visually don't like it. And so for our Empower speakers, we are both on that board. So I have a little notes list so I can go in and I can go ahead and put in one of our shared boards, our speaker lineup, and we can keep track of things together because it's almost like a little Google Drive as well, where it's getting instant updates. So I just found that like just for productivity, it's given me a lot of quick hacks on things that I was having to log out and go into clunkier software to try to manipulate.
Anna, do you use it for scripts for your agents
Yeah.
or for
Yeah.
vendor lists? Like keep up with all your vendors on there or no?
Yeah, I mean, we have aprevendors.com. So like we host all of our, I mean, again, this is like for me because I always built landing pages. But yeah, I mean, you could absolutely like now you don't have to go build the nice landing page. You could literally absolutely just do it through boards. I have like when the compensation stuff all started to change, like I mean, most of us had our script that we were using with other agents, like on our things, like you're just not reinventing the wheel every time someone messages you. Colleen, I was sharing this with the Access Leaders group. Like I get calls all day from agents that are just not looking in the MLS to see they need to contact the listing agent or co-list agent. And instead of putting like a do not email or do not call, like, like weird nuance on the MLS, I don't mind taking the message, but to me, every single time I was getting that message, I have to be like, hey, like, so sorry. Like, cause especially in this market, I don't want any buyers agents to feel like we don't want them to show our property. So like having like a really nicely crafted message that I can just reply back and say, I'm so sorry, I'm in a meeting. I'd love to help you, but it'd be much more efficient for you to reach out to that co-list agent, just grab their information on the MLS and they will be like right back to you. And to have that saved in my phone, I mean, I bet you I get an hour of my time back every day. Easy.
Got it.
Easy peasy. Every one of our listings has a board. We put our disclosures in there. One of the places we found this was really helpful, particularly with listing and having some properties that are more towards the long leaf market, where even though we're merged, the documents don't always show up. And even with all of our MLS swap surrounds and, like nothing is worse than an agent texting you and being like, the disclosures aren't in the MLS when you know good and well they are. And good and well that you took the time to upload them. So to be able to have a board, because you can put PDFs on these boards, and to be able to just send that over to an agent and have, all of the information in one place. I think particularly in a real estate market like ours, where we do have a lot of agents that are on the Zillow flexes, and they're not getting maybe a lot of time to prep for appointments. They may be more on the fly. I think as listing agents, it makes a really big difference to be able to basically hand deliver every single piece of information that we think that buyer's agent should know in one place. We had Bass Lake that Laura was showing. We had a development coming in the back of that. For us to be able to have a board for that property and have the master plan, have a screenshot of the directly adjacent plans of our property, to be able to give that to a buyer's agent in 2.5 seconds instead of them having to go pull all the research, that's just where we felt like we needed to be stepping up and making sure that we were educating buyer's agents on the product we were selling. And boards, I think, really filled that hole for us.
Thanks.
I can attempt to pull up to screen share my phone so that we can show some of those things. It might take
I think I would love to see like what the boards, like the folders that you have all the boards in, just to kind of.
All right, I'm going to give this a try. Anna, you'll have to let me in from my phone.
Anna, did you say whyjoinwithus.com is built through boards?
Yeah, I mean, I can just replace that now. I built all these little one-off like landing pages, and like there's no reason not to just bring those over to boards where I can keep them more updated, because I don't have to go into, even Durable, which is very easy to build in. I still have to go onto my laptop. I still have to move things around. It's an improvement over Wix, but it still is not that simple. And so for me, like if I have a new piece of information, like EXP launched that beautiful new like slide deck with all of the new stuff. I mean, for me to get that onto Durable is a project. For me to be able to add it to my boards is like Tina sends it to me, I copy the link and I put it in my boards in 2 seconds. You're going to be able to execute a lot faster. Oh,
can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so here's my iPhone. Don't judge, okay? So there's my boards app. I've got it on the front right there so I can access it quickly with my Slack and my Follow Up Boss and even Canva. And then I click on it, open it up. How do I get, let me move my face. Okay. Mine's not the most organized, but I try. Okay, so all right, so here's what Anna sent me. This is hers, okay? She shared this board with me. You can see there she is. That's her business card she made, and that's just a profile, like we talked about, with a form at the bottom, just like the open house one. And she added a video to it, okay? Here at the top, oops, I went to her Calendly. See, it just linked right to Calendly. So she's got right here the listing guide and a buyer's guide. She's got her Calendly links and all the different ways you can connect with her through Calendly. She's got a script here to schedule a listing appointment and a buyer consultation. So we're going to click into this. So this board is very robust. So this has the actual PDF linked into it. This is the guide, the seller's guide. And then let me get out of it. And then, so there's a link to visit our seller website. There's links, there's Calendly links right here. And then a form. All right. That's all in a web page. See how it says page? That's how you know it's a web page versus just a board. All right, let's go out. Listings and quick reply texts. So you can see we've got some listing web pages right here. So this was a listing we had, and it's got the description, some photos, and this is what we send out to other agents. And this is what you would connect in your forms settings page. Instead of the thank you option, you'd have it populate to this board because it's to this web page because it has its own URL. So you put that in there instead of having it select thank you very much. But this has it's got the measurements, it's got the floor plan, septic permit, it's got the RPODs, the MOG is in here, I think somewhere. So all the helpful documents in PDF form are in there. Touches a little bit on buyer agent commission. There's a button here that goes to our thing about submitting offer terms. And then we also discussed Atwater Station, which is the development going in back there. Links to stuff about Atwater that Atwater provided, some PDFs, and then a little video at the end with one of our town commissioners, Jason Lunch, which, gives some information. So there's a lot of information that you can put in a web page, and it's very quick, very helpful to send these out to clients and other agents. Let's see. Anna's got one that she sends out like really quick if somebody tries to get in touch with her instead of her co-list. Here you go. There you go. Send that out. Let's see. Here's Banks Road. Here's another listing. So quick, so easy. Here's all the helpful documents. And then submit terms. All right, let me back out. All right, let's see.
And those go to the agent that schedules a showing, don't they? Is that right? Did I dream that?
You can do that. You would need, if they schedule it in showing time, I'm not sure. I think there's probably a way you can do a link from your board. Anna, is that legal? Like, can we do that? Can we have it if they schedule in showing time?
I mean,
Can we have it
send it
sent?
as like the more information like on the property in your showing time notification, but I typically just text it over to them once I see something scheduled.
Same.
Particularly in this market. I mean, if we get back to like crazy times, maybe you have to automate that better, but for now, it's been working fine.
Right. That's how I do it too. Just text it over to them. And in mine, I've started putting my newsletters in there. So you can, I did a update for my neighborhood, sent that over to them. Let's see. Oh, you store your hashtags in there for Instagram, so you don't have to keep recreating those over and over. So Anna has, this is her Pine State board, full of information, full of links, full of things you just send out very quickly. And let's see. I've got the NAR info with some scripting, if this has been in here a while. Let's see. There's where I've saved open house things. And so another cool thing that I did so I was going to do a giveaway, a game day giveaway. And so in my newsletter from January, I had like what are some local events happening? And one of them was this game day giveaway. And so if anybody clicked on it, then it would take them to this form and they would learn about the game day giveaway and a little bit about the house. And in the analytics, I would know if people were actually clicking on this game day giveaway. And if it was going to be, if anybody was even interested, So that's something cool with the analytics. Also scripts, when you're doing your scripts, you don't have to carry around paper everywhere. You can just put it in your boards. You're still working on that.
Laura, are you sending those out, the newsletter and that game day by text or by email?
You can do either.
Okay.
So with that game day, it was linked into my newsletter that I sent through email. So I sent it in through follow-up boss email to like my sphere, and they were able to click on the different events and they would link to the page about that event. Like I had 4 events that I was highlighting in the month of January, and one of them was this game day giveaway. And people were probably like, well, what's that? Because all the other events were, like the Museum of Art or ice skating or something like that. And this one was random, kind of like, what's that? And so if they clicked on it, I had the link embedded so that it would take them to that board. And, I could have done more with it, like, have a sign up or some sort of lead capture, but I didn't, but I could have. And but with the analytics, I would be able to see if it had any traction at all. It was kind of a little test for me.
So you would like email through follow-up us saying something like, click here for a link to my monthly newsletter. And that way you'd know if they actually clicked on it. Is that how you sent it? Or something?
Actually, so yeah, yes. Well, you mean the newsletter itself or the board?
So you mentioned that you were sending the newsletter to your farm and you were able to get analytics to see who opened it and read it. So I guess that's what I was asking. Like, are you sending that through follow-up us? Is that going through is it a board link? Your newsletter is a board link?
Yes, it's a link. Okay. So that's tricky with emails. Some people don't want to open links, but if it's your farm or your sphere and they trust you, I feel like they would. Okay. I send mine through follow-up boss, and that was, like open. And I did it for the 2024 yearly recap. And I also posted the link in our Facebook group, and people could just, and it looks really good. Like it showed my face, and it said the title.
That's so smart. Okay. That's what I wanted to know, how you were sending it. I like the idea of sending it in like Facebook and stuff to your farm in your Facebook group for your neighborhood that you're farming.
And it looks good. But so with, when we use Flowdesk, whenever you would text it, it was a generic little picture of Flowdesk marketing, which I didn't like. This, when you text, it'll show up just like that. Like this will show up in your text. Morgan Creek News, whatever your picture is that you put at the top, that's going to show up as your text. So, it looks really good. People will be more likely to click on it.
So Colleen, I know you're a Buffini gal too. Like my monthly newsletters are on their way out the door, but I think this month actually, because I hadn't even thought about my newsletters, is like, particularly this younger demographic that I have, like depending on the postal service, right? If they go out maybe Friday, like midweek next week, they'll be delivered, I want to go back with text messages and say, hey, did you get my newsletter? If for some reason not, I just wanted to deliver it to you digitally, because I don't get any real-time analytics on my hard mailers, and think how expensive they are. And like, listen, I'm a female. I'm not taking them out of my mix. Like, they are huge. Like, but it would be really nice, particularly for people that I really want to know how engaged are you with my content, to be able to follow up with the text with one of these and get those analytics. I just think that would be really nice to kind of do a test. We used to put QR codes a lot of times in our mailers to try to see if we could get some kind of like, like response on those hard mailers, and like people never did anything with it. So I don't know, just be curious to see if we integrate the two this month, like what I get to kind of see from 30,000 feet up.
I think
And
that's
I have a random question for you that's kind of off topic, but it still goes with what you were just talking about. So you guys are still doing physical newsletters rather than like a MailChimp situation where you can actually look and see and track all these numbers that everyone's talking about right now. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I am. I mean, I slacked off when I really shifted to team leadership, and my sphere started to suffer for it as far as my lead capture and stuff like that. So I recommitted back at the end of last year to get back into the monthly mailer system, which is just part of Buffini's system. We create our own content for that, and I can share a couple of examples with you. But yeah, I do a hard mailer into about 450 people every single month.
Gotcha. That's cool. I do that for MailChimp. It goes out to, yeah, it's pretty condensed to just the sphere of like 500 people, I think, right now. But it's nice just to be able to see, like you said, that behind the scenes of who's opening it, what's my rate, who's clicking on what links, and I don't know. So that's just helpful, but I didn't just figured I'd ask.
And Jason, what Buffini does is they offer both the monthly mailer that goes out physically, and then they also offer the email blast, which is separate, but they're kind of connected. So we do get the analytics on the one that goes out via email, but not the ones that go out via mail.
Gotcha. That's cool.
And then one thing I was going to ask, what about if we were just about to create like top things to do in Raleigh versus Cary versus Durham? And it looks like this would be a good place to store all that and be able to send newcomers to the area, like an overview of hairdressers, restaurants, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Local guides, don't you, Laura?
What?
Didn't you have some local guides?
Yeah. Am I echoing?
No.
Okay. This one was from Christmas. They do take a lot of time to make.
Yeah, I was going to say, you put that all together, Lara?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of detail, but I'm sure well appreciated.
If you're busy, really busy, you're going to have to hire somebody to make you a guide like that.
There are people that do this like on their
Yes, they
own
are.
blogs, you know what I mean? And so I
Yes.
go out typically before I send my monthly newsletter, and there's people who have already done it for the whole month of whatever March. And so I just take all their events and copy the links and then put them into my newsletter rather than having to do. This is what I was doing in the beginning, trying to find it on my own, but there's bloggers out there that do it and then I just
Yes.
take it.
On Instagram, you can find them. They're like travel North Carolina or travel Triangle, things like that. And you can just copy and paste their content and make it yours.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. There's only one of those.
I can see why.
Yeah. It was pretty detailed.
Yeah.
But hey, team, we can get some of these going for Fuquay and neighboring areas, and we can all share. So I'll start working on those in all my spare time. But yeah, I mean, I think that's so great to have that when you have someone that's like, oh, I'm interested in this area, to be like, well, let me send you a local guide.
And those came in very handy at Christmas time because they were created in Canva, and they're different sheets. And I would just so somebody would say, hey, where, like in one of the neighborhood pages or the town page, where can I buy a fresh Christmas tree? So I had, already made where to get Christmas trees. So I just would post like that PDF right in Facebook. And I did have my logo and like my name on each page. So that way when they looked at it, they'd know who posted it. It wasn't for nothing. I did have some skin in the game there. But yeah, so and then somebody asked about where can I get photos with Santa? So I put that in there. Or, they came in handy.
And you might be able to use it again next year. Like there might be
Probably.
some pages that a lot of that information's the same.
Yes. And just change the date.
Yeah. Well, this was awesome. You're both such an inspiration because I've been wanting to sign up for this and I didn't want to pull the trigger until I knew how it really worked. So this really has now motivated me. And Anna, I just hired an executive admin who's going to start working on pages for things to do. So if I get her, once I get some things done, I'll forward them to you as well.
Amazing. Yes, let's just share the things.
Yes.
Share the things. Yeah, I mean, I think for us, like we just know with lead conversion with our own sphere, the game is how much value can we pump in? And then now the game has become how streamlined and like, because you get people's attention for what, 5 seconds, And so it's like, how do I make sure that I'm directing them into a place where they can see the value in a very easy, streamlined process while still having the option to capture. And man, like not having to build these like landing pages anymore is like a love language to me. It's just so much better. And this is so much more editable on the go. So I love little life hacks, and I think boards is probably one of the best little hacks we've gotten over the last year or so.
Yep, I love it. I love boards.
Thanks, Laura, for putting this slide deck together. It was really good.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. Thanks everybody for joining us. And I hope you enjoy your snow day if you're getting snow.
We have all of these recordings on YouTube, our Agents Empowered. It's at Agents Empowered on YouTube. So feel free to go back and anything you need will be there, and this recording will be there as well.